fancy a day trip from Melbourne. Here we are at the beautiful Barwon Heads. So this is just 20 kilometres or so from Geelong, which is about an hour and a half to 2 hours from Melbourne. And this is just down the Bellarine and down to Barwon Heads. Look at that, how gorgeous is that? But at least 25 ships were scuttled here between 1925 and 1971. So this is obviously create some kind of almost like natural reef. So these broken ships, the steamers, whatever that they were towed out of Port Phillip Bay and laid to rest 35 fathoms, 60 to 70 metres of water out in this area. So there are a couple of paths you can take. This one looked at where the wrecks were. I'm just going to walk down the other end of the car park and see what there is. It's very quiet here today, as you can see. So coming down the stairs, amazing views. Stopping here. Okay, so you can go all the way down. I'm not really wearing beach clothing, but I think I'll go down the stairs. So going down the stairs, you can definitely smell the sea, the ocean smells. It's quite steep. Definitely hold on to the railing. Halfway down there just seemed to be a little road. There's a caravan down there. Maybe that's a camping area that you can stop halfway down somehow. I'm not sure where the road was that went through to there. Oh, and there could be seals down here. So there is a whole boardwalk along that way. Oh, and there is a very cute echidna. Off my little friend goes. I'm just going to walk along the boardwalk here for a bit and have a look and see where it goes to. So I think this is the sort of campsite area that I could see from the side of the path that I went down. So just beautiful down here looking out over the water. As you can see, there's some kind of like tanker in the distance there. And the waves rolling in. Down to the quiet beach and bridge down here. So I'm going to keep walking, see what this is down here, see if there is like a shops or anything down here, maybe a cafe. Well, sort of coming towards the end of this boardwalk, I didn't see any seals, so that was rather disappointing. So I'm glad I saw my little echidna friend at the beginning, which was pretty exciting. But yeah, not seeing any seals. I'm not sure if they're meant to be sort of on the beach or out, and maybe it's because it seems to be quite low tide. That's why we can't see any. But that would be a highlight if I could see a seal. I do love seals, so cute. And I have to say, Google Weather said that it wasn't going to be very warm today. All very nice. Okay, it is quite overcast, but it's actually quite warm. So I wish I had gone with what I was originally going to wear, because yesterday was quite warm. Yeah, because I'm actually quite hot. Okay, coming up to this cafe, it actually seems quite popular. I'm not sure it's a cafe or there's something on. So I'm probably not going to talk while I'm in there, but I will turn the camera around and film. Just not sure if there's like a function on or you can go in. Maybe this section out here is open. Let's go around and have a look. Okay, so at the Heads, open Monday to Sunday, 12 to late. So not cheap. It seems, yeah, fish and chips, $40. Wow, okay. Drinks, There was a lot of people having a glass of sparkling wine. That's $13 for a 125ml glass. Very quiet and peaceful down this end. Really pretty. Yeah, so we come around the other side of the restaurant and we're back to the boardwalk where we were originally, and we can walk back along to where the car was parked. I don't think I will get something to eat at the little restaurant there because that was really quite expensive, but I'm not really that hungry anyway. It's not quite lunchtime yet. Very quiet, as I see someone walking their dog down on the beach over there, and then otherwise just empty and just view the sea. So it's a Friday in mid-October, so we're not really, right in summer, and it's not a weekend, so I do wonder if it gets busier during the week, but I have a feeling maybe not. So the view from where I was sitting. So yeah, this is Barwon Head's Bluff Lookout, and then I'm either going to go over to Ocean Grove to get some lunch, or I'm thinking about going to the lighthouse. So I'm not actually that hungry yet, so I think I might go to the lighthouse first, and come with me and let's see where we can go. So we're coming back to the steps, and that's going to be a steep old walk back up to the top. I've had a look. I think the seals, the young seals generally come out from about November, so maybe it's a little bit early to see the young seals. And I think they're probably on the rocks over here more than out on the beach. So I am just going to stand at the end and have a look and see if I can see anything. So I've just decided to actually come to Ocean Grove first because I realise I'm going to the ballet tonight at Geelong, so I'll need to have some kind of light lunch so that I can eat some dinner before I go, otherwise I'm going to be really starving by the time I get home at like midnight tonight. So here we are in Ocean Grove. I'm just going to wander through and have a look at what there is for something to eat. So fish and chips, there's burgers and things down here. A lot of the places I saw weren't really very busy, and I wasn't even sure if they were still open, even though it was only 12:45. Anyway, I came across the olive pit delicatessen, so I ordered the soup of the day. There's actually 3 different soups of the days. I ordered the potato, leek, and bacon one. It comes with sourdough bread, so we'll see what that's like when it arrives. And so here is my lunch: the soup and the sourdough bread. Let's see what it's like. Okay, so let's try the toast. Nicely toasted, maybe a little pale on one side. Onto the soup. I do love soup, and leek and potato is one of my favourite. It's nice. Maybe it's just slightly salty, but it's got bacon in it, so that's probably why. But yeah, really nice soup. So that was good. It wasn't probably the best leek and potato soup I've ever had, but it was tasty and filling. It was $16, so not too bad, especially for down a seaside town. Yeah, I would recommend. So here we are at Port Lonsdale Lighthouse. So let's go wander up and see if we can get in, or it's a tour or something. Oh, look at those rocks. This is absolutely stunning. Amazing what nature does. The erosion of these rocks can make them so cool. Access to World War One and Two searchlight emplacement. Okay, that's interesting. It's the front of the lighthouse. Don't know if there is any visiting other than by like groups like the school group that I just saw leaving. So as we go down, lots more great views of these amazing eroded rocks. So it was built in 1914 as a defence structure at the outbreak of World War One, and it's set into the sand facing out to Bass Strait. So there's two rooms. Front room featured a swivel-mounted searchlight, which is shown in the image, which I will put up. And there's also a second windowless rear room, likely used as a workroom, rest space, or washing room. Okay, so this is just the second room. Okay, it's barely a room. So this is the size of it. It's not really, I don't know if I call it a room. I can't even put my hands, like the camera is out the door now. It's in my hand. So a very tiny second room. But then this is the main bit where the searchlight was and where the people were. So it's pretty cool. This is where they were looking out, making sure there's no threats to the country, and using a searchlight to check for anything crossing the Bass Strait. That's pretty cool. Yeah, trying to find a map of the area to show where this is in comparison to the rest of Australia and why this was a strategic point for them. Frog here, I think looks a bit like a frog. I don't know. Let me know if you think it does or if it looks like something else. Just looking to see where it goes down towards the beach. I'm sure what the audio is going to be like unless it's got windy. Look at all that beach up there. Just beautiful. Okay, we're down here at the rocks. Look at that. Just gorgeous. You don't seem to be able to actually go into the lighthouse, but it's certainly worth coming here for the views and, as I've already said, the rocks, which are just absolutely stunning. Well, I just went around to the other side of that little hole, as you probably saw, and there's a whole lot of horrible little flies in there, so that was not a good idea. Thought it would be kind of cool, but there we go. It's basically this view of the beach through it, so very pretty. Great view of the lighthouse and down here on the beach. And here is looking through the little hole in the rocks. So pretty cool. Wish there wasn't all the horrible little flies in there. A little water hole here. Actually fairly deep. See all the birds down by the water. Port Lonsdale Lighthouse. I definitely would say this is one to have a visit if you're down in the Bellarine area. It's very pretty and amazing rock formations, and just, yeah, it's a nice beach to wander along. And like, apart from this rocky bit, then just further up that way there is a lot more beach type area, and I imagine that it's quite nice to sit there. I don't think there is any lifeguards, so it's not really a swimming area because it looks quite rough, but yeah, definitely a place to visit if you're down here. And here we are up near the flagpole looking down over the beach. We're quite high up here in comparison, and pretty amazing. And like, if we actually walk around, you see some rooftops down over that side. Okay, I think that's Point Lonsdale Lighthouse done. So I think we're going to go head on back to Geelong and see what we're going to do there this afternoon. Yeah, so the options in Geelong for this afternoon are the Old Geelong Jail. There's also a Botanic Gardens that sounded quite nice. So I've already been to the Wool Museum there, so the Wool Museum's really good, but I have been there before. So there are a number of ways to get to Geelong. One of those is by ferry. So today we drove here, but we've previously come over on the ferry, which is like a return ferry trip, and it included entry into the Geelong War Museum. So we did that. It was really good. We really enjoyed that. So I do recommend that if you're here, which is just 5 minutes away from the train station if you get the train here. And the train is $11 from Southern Cross in Melbourne to the trains to Geelong train station. So that's definitely an option. So we drove, it's about an hour and a half to Geelong, and then it was about another 20 minutes, and then probably another 15-20 minutes down to Port Lonsdale from Ocean Grove. So yeah, I think you need a car to be able to come down here, but otherwise you can just go to Geelong for the day. And as I say, I'll put up some footage. There is a lovely boardwalk down on the water. There was a lovely restaurant with fish and chips down on the water there. So I will put up footage from before if I can't get footage today down there, because I wasn't really planning on going down there today. But there's definitely a lot to do in Geelong on a day out from Melbourne. And the other thing, there's this big long pier. I think you probably get to it from down, go down this path, or maybe from the car park. I'm not sure. I'm going to walk down this path anyway and see what is down here. It's like a mystery. And this is a much easier way to walk to get down to the beach and the rocks than down those stairs just around there that I originally looked at. Look at the colour of that water. So pretty. Let's walk down a bit and let's see if we can see like any fish or anything. Well, as people turned up with fishing rods, I'm assuming there are some fish. It's quite windy out here, as you can see, and I'm going to head on back to the car and back to Geelong. So I was going to go to the Geelong Jail Museum, but time got on with me and I wasn't going to have very long there. So then I thought about going to the Botanic Gardens, and I've come over and I parked at the Botanic Gardens. But once again, don't have a lot of time, can't really be bothered walking around and going in. So there's a lovely park outside. So I decided I'm just going to sit down in the park and read my book. I definitely think that Geelong is a great day out from Melbourne. So there's stuff to do in Geelong itself, and also if you've got a car, to come down to the Bellarine area and see some of the nice places down here. So I hope you enjoyed this. I've done quite a lot of videos on ideas of things to do in Melbourne. So check out my Melbourne playlist. I'll pop it up above and link it down in the description. And also I have a lot of content on cruising and world travel, and I'm about to go to Europe next year, so that will be another whole lot of different travel vlogs for you to watch. So please do like and subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe, but it helps my channel a lot, so I'd really appreciate it if you did that. And if you enjoyed this video, please do like. And if there's anywhere else in near Melbourne or Victoria that you would be interested in me doing a video on, then do let me know. I do have videos from other day trips to Sorrento, the Great Ocean Road, Yarra Valley. So there's plenty of things to do around Melbourne. So, you know, if you're coming to Australia, do come down to Melbourne and check it out. Till next time, thanks.